Are you ready to stop the self-sabotage and create the life you desire? Well, in order for that to happen, you need to break free from the bad beliefs that are holding your success hostage. You need to optimize the stress by turning it into extra energy for success. And those hurtful habits? Well, we need to give that pain a purpose for progress. Welcome to Stop the Self-Sabotage and Create the Life You Desire podcast. Welcome to the pandemic-ish edition, also known as the April. Yes, it is April. It is only April. May feel later, but it is only April. The April edition of the National Guild of Hypnotists St. Louis chapter. So we are all here to assist each other in building a business that is going to serve more people, make more money while working less. Because right now, people need us more than ever. So what we're going to go into is the presentation that I have for you. After that, we're going to open it up for any members that may be here for any questions. I'm also letting our members know that you have the ability to record this. I've given you the ability to where you can go down to the toolbar that's on the bottom of your screen and you can record it to your system. So you don't have to wait for me to send out the link, because sometimes I get busy and it's not always coming as quick as it could. Okay. Are you familiar with the 10,000 hour rule? The 10,000 hour rule says that after 10,000 hours devoted to anything, you have mastered it, that you have become an elite level performer after 10,000 hours. That breaks down to 20 hours a week, 50 weeks a year for 10 years. But that's only partially true. Whenever I was 12, I was in gymnastics. Oh, it didn't work well. My instructor actually told me after the first round of classes that I probably should find a different sport to be in. But let's say that I decided to go for it, and I devoted 10,000 hours to walking across the balance beam, back and forth. Well, after 10,000 hours, I would probably be pretty proficient at walking back and forth, but I would not be an expert or an elite level gymnast. Why is that? Because I never left my comfort zone of having to get out there and do other things, such as tumbling, such as performing on the balance beam or the unevens. And right now, a lot of people are stuck in that comfort zone, but there's nothing comfortable about being stuck and struggling. It is known instead as the familiar zone. It is what we go to whenever we feel threatened and we seek levels of security. So right now, our clients are going to be binge eating, binge watching TV. They're going to feel like that they've had to stay at home and no longer be active. There's going to be challenges in the relationships because, hey, if you're quarantined with someone else, you may find you're not as compatible as you thought you once were. So our clients are going to experience a lot of challenges that they're going to need assistance with. But you attract what you are, not what you want. So where are you in your familiar zone? There's no competition if you do not challenge yourself. You have to be able to go past your current capacity. And yet when there's a crisis, that goes against everything we have been conditioned to experience. I know we have a lot of hobbyists in our group, and I think you guys are phenomenal at wanting to know more about the mind, but it is not a hobbyist that is going to be able to step forward and start leading people out of the challenges and the struggles that they are beginning to experience. 91 days. 91 days is how long it takes for what's known as an identity upgrade. 91 days where it goes from thought to implementation without even thinking about it. This started the beginning of March. We're in the third week of April. We are almost 2/3 of the way through of seeing an identity change in our potential clients. And it's not one for the better. What you do today to move yourself out of your comfort zone, your familiar zone, your current capacity, what you do today, you're going to reap the full results of it 91 days from now. So that's what I want to talk to you about today, is how to crisis-proof your career so that moving forward, you are the go-to that others reach out and ask for assistance. And I'm going to go over 5 steps. By the way, I know that we're a little light tonight in attendees. Angie, I hope your mastermind is going phenomenal. Sally, great to see you. I'm glad you were finally able to join us. I know that Lisa, you're probably working in the hospital and it is just crazy for you. You've got our thoughts and prayers on that to stay safe. But I also know we're a little light on attendance because we have so many hobbyists in the group and they not realizing that the actions you take speak louder than your words. There's an old adage, I can't hear what you're saying because your actions are speaking so loud. So even if you're a hobbyist, you have to go past your current capacity and how you assist others. So what I'm going to give you as far as these 5 tips to make sure that you have set yourself up for outrageous success, not only now, but 91 days from now. These can be applied to any area of your life. Okay. So, step number 1. And by the way, if y'all have any questions, please interrupt me and ask them, okay? This is not, what do they say, a monologue? Mm-hmm. It's a dialogue. It's a conversation. I need to know how to customize it to you and what you got going on. All right. So the 5 steps we're going to be going over. Number 1, your offers. Number 2, your audience. Number 3, content that converts. Number 4, tools to take you to the top a whole hoop and bunch easier. And number 5, it's all about you. So number 1, your offer. Should you be selling or should you just be giving your stuff away? The answer is yes. There's a lot of talk right now as far as, oh my gosh, unemployment is hitting record amounts. So many people are out of work. I want you to keep this in mind. And I'm not saying not to watch the news. We watch the news. Drew's a news junkie.
Yes, I am.
The news is meant to get viewers, not necessarily report what's going on. Because the more viewers a news program has, the more they can charge for their advertising on commercials. So they've got to hype it. Remember, the subconscious mind must run off of electricity. And the electricity that the subconscious uses is emotion. And the more emotion that the subconscious experiences, the better the subconscious runs. Now, when I say better, I don't mean as far as life improving. I mean that the subconscious is highly engaged, because the subconscious only has two directions it can go: progress achieving or pain avoidance. And so whenever you're hearing about, oh my gosh, the unemployment is so high, right now it's a little over 5%. Think about that. Let's round it up, 6%. That's 6 out of 100 people. That means that there's 94 that still have access to some sort of income. Let's say it hits the record highs that they're projecting. It could go as high as 20%. That some analysts say that it could go higher than the Great Depression. 20%. That still means that 8 out of 10 people still have means that they can rely on. How will someone decide whether or not to invest with you? Have you earned that right? Have you offered them some sort of value that we're going to get into in your content? By the way, these steps are the same steps that I teach our business building group: a doctor, a lawyer, another hypnotist. It works for any service-based profession. Which brings me to the other step, other piece on your offer. You need to make sure that you have two types of offers. By the way, I'm doing a masterclass on this tomorrow that you can also have access to, either in person or live, to where I go into what's known as the client value journey a little bit deeper than the time I have here today. And I'm doing a bonus hypnosis session on prosperity and finding opportunities. If you want to be able to access that, just go to drewdawnferguson.com/live, LIVE /, and you'll see where you can sign up for the master classes that we have. You can also see we have a lot of other hypnotists that do this. You can also see the content that we're producing and how we earn the right to be able to be in someone's life. So you need to have two types of offers. You need to have JIT and JIC, just in time and just in case. Just in time is whenever you work with somebody one-to-one, helping them to break through the blocks. You know you're hitting it right with your marketing whenever somebody says, oh my gosh, you know the old adage, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. That's when you know that you're doing your marketing correctly. They feel like you showed up at the right place at the right time for them. But there's also just in case, JIC. JIC is having a backlog of something. It's toilet paper hoarding. So JIC says that at some point in your business, you need to develop a program and a product that you do not need to be there to deliver. Because that's the challenge businesses are having right now. They have relied on needing to show up to serve others. And then they got shut down. Uh-oh. Now what are they going to do? But that is not what you start with. That is how a lot of hypnotists will sideline themselves when they're brand new in the profession. Oh, I've got to put together a home study course. No, you don't. You have no idea what people want until you've actually worked with the general public for at least 3 months. Then you can see what is it that they're having challenges with and begin to put together what's known as your signature system. Your signature system is a series of steps, usually less than 12, because nobody needs another 12-step program. So it's typically less than 12, and it's where you take someone from the very beginning to the very end, the complete dreams into reality system. You will have at least one of those steps that you can design a home study course around. Because what happens if you want to go on vacation? Does that mean sales stop? No. That's whenever you promote those products, or if all of a sudden maybe you get ill and you cannot work with your clients, you can say, you know what? You can access this program. I don't have to be there to deliver it, but you always want to start with your JIT, just in time, first. So JIT actually needs a minimum of 2 levels. It's known as the profit pyramid. How am I doing, babe? Am I doing okay?
You're doing great, baby.
All right. So profit pyramid, there is actually 4 levels to the profit pyramid. IFO, that stands for irresistible free offers. Then there's LB, low barrier. Middle level is core. Top level is elite. When we like to use a pyramid, and each of these levels builds on the one before it, with the elite at the top. This is another challenge that hypnotists can engage in, is that they've got their core offering. For me, that's a single session. That is my core offering. Is that what it is for you, Drew?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, single session. Low barrier would be maybe some sort of group work, to where you're going to charge them less than if they would work with you personally, or that your home study courses. So it's going to be less than your core. And then you've got your VIP, your elite. Maybe that's a package. You need to have 2, and this is what hypnotists will do a lot of times, or other service-based businesses. They'll do a core offer and they'll do a low barrier offer. You have to get your head out of your client's wallet and actually get into their heart, where they want to make the upgrades. So I advise you have a core and you have an elite offer. Do not decide what they can and cannot afford. That is none of your freaking business. It is simply up to you to say, this is how it works. Now, I'll give you a little insider secret. I never move anybody into a package, because I'm not quite sure that we're a good fit for each other. So we have that beginning session, and then we schedule a follow-up. Now, the follow-up, if I think they need to have a package, I'll let them know that, but I'll say, you know what? We need to make sure you're following through, because all of our clients have a plan of action. They have steps that they have to do after the session is over with. I am doing transfer of authority or transfer of power to them. It is not reliant upon me and my magic in the chair with them. They got to use that magic and make it theirs. So I'll let them know anywhere from 4 to 7 days after that initial session, we're going to have a follow-up call. We're going to see what's working well. We're going to see how to make it even better. And at that point, I'll see, did they get everything they needed from their session? Or do we need to look at a package? And if they have a package, then we apply that session towards the package. Our packages typically run 2 to 3 months long. 3 months, identity upgrade. That's why we schedule it like that. You may think that people doing business with you is going to be dependent upon what you charge. No, it is dependent upon the value you bring to their life. I will tell you right now, at least for the Midwest, I'm one of the most expensive hypnotists out there. I am $400 a session. For a package with me, it's $2,000 for 2 months. 4 sessions, couple of coaching calls in there. I will have clients save up to be able to work with me. because I did not dumb down their success by going, oh, I don't think they can afford it. I better call all the hypnotists in my area and take the highest and the lowest and average it out, and whatever's in the middle, that's what I'll charge. By the way, that's what I did 16 years ago. I know. No, you want to look at what is the value you bring to somebody's life. It's what's known as the 5 to thrive. Now that their challenge is going to be resolved through you, what is better in their finances? Well, they're no longer throwing money away on trying to get it fixed. How is their health better? Well, they're no longer stressed out and waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning thinking this is never going to get any better. What does it look like with their relationships? Oh, they're so much happier and fun to be around. What is their career looking like now that they can move forward and say, what's the next area I want to grow? And then the last one, number 5, is what's their untapped potential that now they can invest themselves in, because that is no longer holding them back, whatever you worked with them around. When you begin to see how you can upgrade somebody's life through a single session, you begin to realize that, yeah, there's tremendous value in what you do, and you need to be asking for that value. So you need to have 2 types of offers, JIT and JIC. You always want to start with JIT first. And you want to have 2 levels of those offers. You want to have core and elite. The people right now in business, and it does not matter what service-based business they have, if they have been relying on core and low barrier and they're still able to perform duties, they're going to be sucking wind big time in 3 months, because everybody is going to go for the lower one. Well, if you have elite and you have core and they go with the lower one, you're still in really good shape because it's the core offer. It is still at a decent investment. Okay. Number 2, your audience. Where does your audience love to hang out? Well, we know now everybody's online. But who do you like to work with as far as that people say, oh, niche? You got to pick a niche. You got to pick a particular set of problems. No, not necessarily. You need to pick who you like to work with. So you always start with your offer first. You never start with the audience. People start with the audience and then try to design an offer around what that audience might want. No, you start with the offer. I love parts therapy and hypnosis. That is my specialty. Every client, first-time client, gets a parts therapy session where they're introduced to the different subpersonalities and sub-aspects of themselves. It's known as the 5 motivators that psychology recognizes as each having an individual personality type within ourselves. I love dialoguing and helping my client have a conversation with the different parts of their personality, maybe the past imprints, future impact, inner advisor, inner child. Well, my audience typically is leaders. These are the people who know that they've got one type of their personality that comes out whenever they're at work. They're very driven. They're very achievement oriented. And then they've got another part that comes out at home. And a lot of times those 2 are out of harmony. They've learned how to get all their needs met through work, which is the reason why they don't want to spend a whole lot of time at home. And we have to begin to upgrade their values for the aspect that's at home to also get those needs met in an emotional way, the same way they do at work, for them to be able to have more of a whole and complete life. So I know what my audience is. My audience is typically 35 to 60, female, peak performer. She's achieved a lot in her life, but she has also realized that she's had to sacrifice some pieces, and now she wants them back. I need to know, where are they? Where do they hang out? And for me, my ideal client is on Facebook. It is not on Instagram, where it is, let's show everybody the ideal life. No, my clients are too busy out there making it happen. Is it on Twitter? No, they don't necessarily like those shallow conversations. So it's on Facebook. It is on podcasts. They love learning all the time. And YouTube. Right now, during the pandemic, YouTube is the #1 consumed social media product. So you want to be thinking about, who do you want to work with? Who are you passionate about? Because they will be able to pick up that passion and say, yeah, she's for me. He's the one that I need to talk to. I want to take the next step. Which leads me into content. By the way, I go on deeper on the audience and the client value journey in that free masterclass that I'm doing. Okay, content. This is where you go from best kept secret to celebrity status. You have your signature system. Even if you're brand new, you have a system. You may not have realized it. So on your signature system, there are going to be typically 1 to 3 steps that are what are known as cornerstone or keystone steps. Everybody must go through them to achieve success with you. Those 3 steps are what you develop content around. This is what you're putting out on social media. This is where you earn the right to be in somebody's life. Because you're talking about the pain. By the way, I'm going to give you the 4-step process known as AIDA, A-I-D-A. I like to call her the goddess Ada, because if you honor her, she will bless you with a bigger bank account. A, attention. I, interest. D, desire. A, action. So this can go a couple of different ways depending on whether we are in a bull market or a bear market. Right now, it may be temporary, we're not quite sure, but we are in a bear market. The beginnings of lack of consumer confidence and a potential recession. So whenever it is a bear market, these are the steps. Pain, how the pain shows up. What they really want in life, here's the next step. That's how you catch somebody's attention in a bear market. You talk about the pain that they're in. Then interest. How do you keep their attention? This is when you talk about how that pain shows up and it's holding them back. But you just can't do that and then leave them there. How irresponsible is that? That sucks. By the way, I believe that's a technical term. You have to have initials behind your name to use that. Life sucks. Okay. Then you need to talk about D, desire. What is it that they really want? Because you've got rapport now and what's known as emotional transference set up with the subconscious mind, where it's going, oh, they're in my head. How are they reading my thoughts? Oh my gosh. And now that you've got that rapport, that emotional transference going on, then you've earned the right to talk about D, desire. What is it that you really want? And then A, action, here's your next step. There's always a next step, always. You do not ever put out any piece of content without there being a next step. So on content, number one, there's always urgency. And number two, there's always a next step. And number three, see number one. And if you're talking about the pain they're in and how it's holding them back in life and what they really want, you've created that urgency. Keep in mind, marketing simply means making what you do so desirable that your audience goes, oh my gosh, that's for me. So they self-select, they seek you out, and they want to know more. So you always have to tell them what that next step is going to be, how they can reach out and contact you, or is there a website that they go to? So you need to be putting out content. And then you need to repurpose that content. So that is going to lead us into number 4, the tools that I shared earlier in the email that went out that I am going to go ahead and highlight now. Zoom. Zoom is the platform we're using right now. For less than $16 a month, you can meet with your clients virtually. They have a free account that'll only allow you to go 40 minutes. For $16 a month, you can go, I think it's like 4 hours, 8 hours, something like that. Oh my gosh, and you can give people the ability to record their sessions with you on their own computer, so you're not having to send them the link if you want to be able to do that. By the way, leaders who you may want to work with, because they are so much easier for success. If you think about your ideal client and think about if you only got paid after they got success, which by the way, don't ever do. No. Okay. But if you only got paid after they achieved success, what type of audience would you want to be working with? This is the reason why I've chosen leaders. Because they go after it. They're ready for it. You just need to fine-tune that identity upgrade for them. Okay. Leaders stay away from people where they notice those people are using free accounts. Because a leader says, if you can't invest in the tools that you're using, I'm not sure I want to invest in you. Remember, you attract what you are, not what you want. So Zoom is the platform. Some people use Skype for their sessions. I always found it to be too glitchy. We have been virtual in our business. We've been doing this now going into 16 years. I'm going to say we've been virtual for 13 or 14. Mm-hmm. Because we had clients that moved away. And then said, how do we continue working with you? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, first couple of years we were in business and we weren't doing much virtual at that point. We had a client move to Atlanta and he would come up about twice a year and do sessions with either Dawn or myself.
Yeah, he'd fly in. We used to do sessions with people who still had corded phones. There was no virtual. It was all on the phone. Zoom is found to be the easiest platform to use. Also the safest. They are HIPAA compliant. Okay. StreamYard. StreamYard is who we use to go live on Facebook. Because remember, I said that's where my clients happen to hang out, as well as YouTube, as well as on podcasts. StreamYard, for their paid plan, will allow you to stream to 2 different places at the same time. So I may do our Facebook fan page, our Facebook business page, as well as YouTube, both at the same time. That's what I did today. Today I did a video that was your moment your defining moment of magnificence, how to go from wound to wealth. Now, why do I want to go live on Facebook, number one, and then why do I want to use a platform to be able to do it, number two, instead of just going directly to Facebook? Number one, Facebook, their algorithm is set up to give you more of an organic reach when you go live. It is Facebook. They've been very clear on their intentions. They want to supersede YouTube. They want to become the next platform for learning how to do anything on video. So if you go live to Facebook, they're going to promote it to more people. Instead of just 1% of your followers, you can see 3% or more organically without ever having to pay to do it. So you want to be going live as often as possible. In fact, those that are the most successful will go live approximately 4 times a week. And it doesn't have to be very long. It can be for just a few minutes. You're giving them a simple tip, tool, or technique. Now, why do you want to use a platform instead of just turning on the old smartphone and going for it? Which, by the way, I'm going to let you know right now, I do not like doing video. And listening to my voice bothers me. But that's where I am getting out of my familiar zone, out of my conditioning, and I am challenging myself. Okay, so StreamYard allows you to set up in advance when you're going to go on live so you can promote it. So for example, we have a private group on Facebook called Health, Wealth, and Happiness. You can put it in Facebook, look for it, ask to become a member. But I go live inside that group every Monday with what's known as Magnificent Monday Mindset. So I can set that up in advance and my followers will get a notification of it and know exactly when to show up to watch it. And the more people that watch it, the more Facebook's algorithm says, oh, this must be something interesting. We should promote it organically to even more. So StreamYard, number one, allows you to be able to set things in advance, 7 days. It allows you to stream to multiple platforms. Today on Toolbox Tuesday, I streamed to both Facebook and YouTube. Thursday will be to Facebook, our business page, and I think my personal profile. Yes, you can do business on your personal profile. You should have a business page set up, but you can still share business building tips, tools, and techniques. It is a myth that Facebook does not want you to do that. They do not want you to sell your personal profile to promote someone else's business. That's what they will shut you down for. Okay, so that's StreamYard. StreamYard also gives you the ability that after you're done going live, that you can download the video. You can also download the audio. That's going to be important in just a moment. Wave Video is another tool I gave you. Wave Video will allow you to create videos up to a couple of minutes long. Maybe it is a snip of your Facebook Live, and it's a really important point, and you want to be able to put it back out there and drive home a call to action. Well, you can do that with Wave Video. It is so easy to use, and it is also a great way to put together inspirational videos. And every hypnotist I know loves that inspirational stuff. I am going to share my screen with you for just a moment. Okay, this is our business page on Facebook. And you can see we have a cover video. where it says clean up your world mentally, emotionally, physically with your free hypnosis audio, taking out the trash, click here. That is a video I created in Wave Video that now will take people to our sign up for our free hypnosis audio. And now they're on our list for us to continue to offer them value with the different articles and classes and videos that we do until they're ready to say yes to us. There's something known as the law of recency. And the law of recency says that your clients will work with you based on how top of mind you are. So maybe they really like you and they saw you 2 weeks ago and they're thinking about working with you. But yet, the last week, I've been in their news feed 4 times. Law of recency says I'm going to get the client, and that's not right. You're the one that got them excited and passionate about their next level of success. It should be you. Okay, so that's Wave Video. Screencast-O-Matic. Screencast-O-Matic was actually started as a video service for teachers. And it's really inexpensive. You can start out with their beginning plan, which is like $16 or $17 for the year, for the whole year. And it will allow you to edit videos, create a brand new video. You can create a video of yourself. You can create a video of what you're showing on your screen. So maybe if you're creating some sort of home study course, oh my gosh, what a great way to do it. It will even give you what's known as scripted recordings. You're like, what am I supposed to say? Well, you can set it up to where it's like a teleprompter. It goes across the bottom of the screen to tell you what to say. But the person who's viewing the video afterwards doesn't see that. So Screencast-O-Matic is a great way to create as well as edit videos, but it can also be a phenomenal way for you to rip off the audio from a video that you've done. Now, whenever I use StreamYard or Zoom, I've got the ability just to download the audio. But there are other videos that I create that I do not have that capability, so I can upload the video to Screencast-O-Matic, and then tell it I want just the audio off of it. Why would I do that? Because there's a service called Audio Acrobat. Audio Acrobat, and I will be sending out all the links on this. I will let you know their referral and affiliate links. Some of them will give you a special savings because you click on it. Do we receive a commission on it? Yes. I've got to put that right out there. But I'm giving you the services that I know are the very best after well over a decade of using different things. So Audio Acrobat allows you to do so many things, but one of them is create a podcast channel. And you can upload your audio to Audio Acrobat, because podcasts are typically audio. You've created a podcast channel through them. So our podcast channel is Stop the Self-Sabotage and Create the Life You Desire. The beautiful thing about Audio Acrobat is it automatically sets up my podcast channel with the major podcast providers. I don't have to go to each one individually. It takes care of it for me. So I upload the audio once to Audio Acrobat, and then it goes out from there. So for example, like I said earlier, I did a 20-minute Facebook Live today, Your Defining Moment of Magnificence, uploaded it to Audio Acrobat for my podcast channel. It's been out about 3 or 4 hours, and it's already been listened to not quite 100 times. You need to keep in mind, you have to pay for people to be able to listen to things on your podcast. But Audio Acrobat gives you so many gigabytes or whatever it is in your plan every single month. So every time I do something, a video, I do it on Facebook. I then embed it into our blog on our website, and then I upload the audio to Audio Acrobat. And so from one piece, I have got it repurposed at least 3 different areas. And then the last piece I'm going to cover under tools is Kartra. Kartra is not for a beginner. Kartra is after you've been in business for a few months and you're like, okay, I want to be able to build out a website that looks very professional. I want a client management contact system that has what's known as behavioral adaptive marketing. BAM, B-A-M, to where if somebody watches a video, then they are put into this list. And if somebody purchases a product, they're put into this list. It is a shopping cart. It is a website builder. It is a client management system. It is everything you need for an online business to be successful. If you're not ready for that yet, then you can talk to me and I'll give you the suggestions on the different tools that you should be using in the meantime, such as setting up a WordPress blog, using MailChimp or Constant Contact to send out emails. You cannot send it from your regular business email. That is against the Federal Trade Commission rules. You have to be able to send emails through a program where they can unsubscribe if they no longer want to hear from you. And putting at the bottom of your emails, if you don't want to hear from me anymore, just return, just send me an email back with unsubscribe, and the subject line is against the law. Okay, so that's tools to set up a very healthy, profitable business. Now let's talk about number 5, your familiar zone. Before you listen to today, did you make a pre-decision that you were going to find between 1 and 3 things that you were going to take action on within the next 72 hours? Because if you did not, you are conditioning your subconscious mind to be a seeker of knowledge, but never experiencing what's known as wisdom. The world is full of really smart people that their lives are not any better because the subconscious mind must be told what to do. You have to decide before you ever go into something that this is what you want to get out of it. And then that tells your RAS, your reticular activating system, what it needs to know to scan your environment to bring you out at your very best. Or it doesn't get turned on at all because it says, oh, I don't need to. We learn stuff and we never do anything with it. It's all right to be a seeker of knowledge. But when it comes to assisting others, you have to put yourself in the arena of the unknown and going for what it is that you want, even though it means risking failure, because you can never find out what doesn't work, so you can fine-tune it for what does until you fail. And that just means you will continue to attract people that want to talk to you. Never, ever underestimate a potential client's propensity for getting free stuff from you, as far as free advice and never doing anything with it. Which is the reason why somebody gets on the phone with me and after a few minutes I'm going, you know what? This isn't talk therapy. You're not paying me for this. You wanted to talk to me about how to move forward. So let me tell you how we're going to do this. And you can continuing to tell the same old story ain't going to be it if you decide to work with me. So you've got to make that decision beforehand what you want to experience. And then use that as the juice, as the electricity to turn your subconscious on to go from pain to progress, from problems to designing a life. Because that's why we all picked this profession. All right. I've been talking a whole hoop and bunch and for a really long time. That concludes our presentation today.